Merab ratioed Sean O'Malley on X this week. O'Malley posted a poll saying, "Is Merab a virgin?" It received 1,200 favorites. Merab replied saying, "Ask your baby mama," with 10,000 favorites. Sean had words from Merab on the most recent episode of the Timbo Sugar Show. It's titled Merab in Studio. Here's why.
Before we talk about the fights last night, we have a special guest. He's not very tall, so don't make fun of him. But we do have Merab actually came into studio. I know you guys don't believe it. Oh my God, you're fighting him. I know, but he's here. And he probably won't say much because he doesn't speak English. Or if he does, it doesn't sound very good. But he does, I mean, he speaks other languages. Smarter than me, but Merab, you know, big fan, big fan. You're on a 12-fight win streak. All decisions, which isn't, it's impressive to be able to win that many fights in a row in the UFC. Huge accomplishments. No finishes almost makes it more impressive that you literally didn't finish any of those guys. It's honestly, Tim, what do you think about that? It's impressive.
I mean, he is fighting the creme de la creme, and these top elite guys are just hard to finish. But the fact that you shot that many times versus Jose Aldo and Peter Yan and had the cardio to do that, that's a real freak of nature thing, and not many people are able to do that. You have one of those gas tanks people call cardio that just can go and go and go and go, and that's a serious threat.
It is.
So I really hope you bite down and really swing hard and really force that takedown against Sugar Show, and then we'll see how that goes, brother. But looking forward to the challenge because you're a great fighter.
Great fighter.
But we're gonna find out.
I was wondering, do you think Aljo will be in your corner? Because I saw you were in Aljo's corner. And boom! I dropped him. I looked over at you, and I hammer fisted him like 4 or 5 times. Don't you just want to get that one back for your buddy?
Jorge Masvidal believes that Conor McGregor is scared shitless to fight him. Jorge is scheduled to box Nate Diaz next weekend. Speaking to MMAfighting.com, he went on to say, "He's never mentioned my name. He's never addressed me. Only to say like stupid things or something. But he's never addressed a fight with me or something because he's scared shitless. If we can't get him to get into the cage with a guy he's convinced he can beat, what the will make him get in the cage with me? The UFC has tried to make this fight happen and Conor doesn't want it. He doesn't want the fight. He never mentions my name, but we're the biggest fight possible. You think Michael Chandler sells more than me versus Conor? Nobody in their right mind thinks that. I'm one of the biggest pay-per-view draws of the UFC in the last 5-6 years. Of course we'd break records, but this guy won't do it. In my future, I don't see this fight happening unless I run into him in a parking lot." Shara Bullet calls out Kevin Holland for UFC Denver on July 13th.
Kevin Holland, the real pirate here, Shara Bullet in USA. I kill you July 13th. Let's go fight. I kill you. I take your head home. Kevin Holland, let's go.
Daniel Cormier thinks that Conor McGregor had way too much to lose to come into the Michael Chandler fight injured. DC thinks that Leon Edwards should say something about Conor pulling out due to a broken toe, because due to the fact that Leon is the welterweight champion, Conor will respond. DC said, "I believe that it's been so long that he cannot go on with the fight because he has far too much to lose. I also hear it's the toe on the same side as the broken leg. When I look at it, I think it becomes an opportunity for just about every fighter in his orbit. You, Sonnen, and Conor go back and forth, but ultimately, all it's going to be is a whole bunch of words. But for Islam Makhachev, for Ilia Topuria, when they go at Conor McGregor, that might ultimately lead to something. They're both holding gold belts. If neither of those guys had a championship belt, their words would be like those other random fighters who call out Conor McGregor. He doesn't care. He doesn't care enough to respond. But when you hold a gold belt, you actually say Conor's name, and he will respond to you. That injury, what it was, and why he pulled out, now opens the doors for all those guys. Leon Edwards should say something. If I'm the champion, I'm saying, well, that's BS. You fight with a broken toe." Ian Garry warns Jake Paul about his upcoming boxing match against Mike Perry, and Jake responded. Ian posted this to his Instagram. He wrote, "POV, you just found out about Jake Paul versus Mike Perry.
That guy is a gladiator. He'll do ding, 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 ding. What's up? Jake, I love you. You are one of the smartest businessmen I know. You could sell sand to the Arabs. But be smart against Mike Perry, because Perry's got that dog in him. Hit him, don't get hit, and make sure you don't get into an exchange with him. Touch him, move. Touch him, move. Touch him, move. Do not go off that plan, because if you plant yourself with Perry, if you get here, he's gonna literally, I guarantee he'll make a rough sound. And that's just I promise you that'll be a bad night for you."
Jake left a comment. He wrote, "I got you. I'll be sharp." Dominick Reyes wants to see improvements with MMA judging. On the Jackson podcast, Dom explains how it can be fixed and uses his fight with John Jones as an example.
Fight with John Jones, does it still bother you about the judging, or you just, it is what it is?
It's something that I would like to address in the future, kind of come together with fighters and organizations and create a proper how to become a judge criteria, instead of like, you have experience in boxing and you have 40 years of judging, blah, blah, blah. Let's have an actual course, an online course, where you have to pass tests. This is how you judge an MMA fight. And then you judge in the actual live events. If you do well, your score counts. It accumulates over time. If you're a really good judge, you'll only judge championship fights and high-level fights, right, that matter, where it's a lot of money, where our lives are on the line. I lost a lot off that moment. Like I said, lives are at stake here. For me, that's the thing I'm thinking about and want to do something about it. I don't want to just talk about it and be upset about it. I want to go and actually do something about it when it's all said and done.
Alexander Volkanovski is interested in fighting Charles Oliveira before the end of the year. In an interview with Fox Sports Australia, Volk said, "I've heard Ilya and Max is confirmed, so I need to talk with the UFC and see what's going on. I'd said I wanted some time off, and the UFC wanted me to take some time off. So if that fight is made, I need to be okay with it. I can't expect the UFC to wait for me. But if they are going to do Ilya and Max, I just hope it would be earlier because I want to fight this year. I don't want to wait. So if there is no title fight until next year, then I need something exciting. Maybe Charles Oliveira. There are others, but I think Michael Chandler will keep waiting for Conor McGregor, and I think Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje also want to wait a bit. Who do you guys think wins between Volk and Charles? Post your takes in the comments." Alex Pereira defends Conor McGregor's decision to pull out of UFC 303. As you guys know, Conor has been receiving some backlash after he announced that he pulled out due to a broken toe. And Alex fought Jamal Hill with a broken toe. Alex says that it's hard to fight with a broken pinky toe. Speaking to ESPN, Alex said, "I cannot judge whether he fights or not because honestly, he's in a point in his life where he secured himself on many different financial aspects. Maybe he was fighting in a much different scenario than I'm fighting. Maybe if I was fighting in the situation where he is in life right now, I don't know if I would do it too. So I cannot judge how bad it is. It is hard to fight with a broken pinky toe. It's a risky decision, very risky decision to fight with a broken toe. I broke one before the fight, it was bad. In the fight, I broke the other one. Maybe if it was the other one, I wouldn't have been able to fight. So I cannot weigh that, but I made the right choice." And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Mind of Patrick. It's in reference to Bryce Mitchell converting his MMA octagon into a chicken coop. It says Bryce Mitchell is really a full-time farmer, part-time MMA fighter. The second one's from Sheesh Clips. It says Rob is brave for turning his back to a body of water in Australia. And the final one's from Ricky 6. It says that coop is cool, but I'm never betting on Mitchell again. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.